Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure the notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, I am doing a full face of first impressions. So everything you see on my skin right now is all new products to me, ones that I've not used before. I've got a mixture of drugstore, high-end like products that are popular on TikTok shop, luxury, like I've got a real mixed bag of products here, and I cannot wait to show you what I think of them. So if you want to see what products I used and hear my opinion about them, then please keep watching. I've not filmed one of these videos in such a long time and I'm super excited about it. So firstly, we are obviously going to delve into skin prep. I have this by Made by Mitchell. This is part of his like skin prep collection, and this is the moisturizer. It's absolutely huge. It's 130ml, and if he's still got these on offer, this is only £8 at the moment. It's an absolute steal for how much product you get inside. So this is the packaging, and then you just take off the lid and literally like look how much product you get in here. It's insane. Just gonna pump some on to my hand. Oh, I don't think it has much of a scent, but it has like this baby pink colour to it, and it doesn't look too thick. Oh no, it's definitely not. It feels really nice and thin actually. Oh my god, yeah. So I'm just gonna blend all this around my face. My skin is not great at the moment. I am breaking out quite a bit. That feels like absolutely nothing on the skin. It was really thin, lightweight. I love it. It's hydrated the face really nicely, and I can just tell this is going to go perfect under makeup. Okay, for primer, so we have this by P. Louise. I've actually had this for a little while. This is the Partner in Pink Sculpting Primer. Not really too sure what that's supposed to do. Okay, so it says it plumps, sculpts and tightens, anti-aging and anti-oxidation qualities, and revitalizes and rejuvenates. It's not really a primer that I look for, to be honest with you. I do have big pores and obviously acne prone skin. I've got oily skin. So I mainly look for, you know, pore filling, smoothing primers. Her smoothing one is incredible. I think this is one of her like older primers because it's in this pump packaging, and I hate it because it doesn't pump out the products after a while. It just gets stuck, and yeah, I don't like it. So this is the consistency. Kind of looks similar to the Made by Mitchell, to be honest with you. It has a really thin bouncy texture, and I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, put this in my T-zone maybe, but okay, I think I put a bit too much on. I'm just kind of spreading this all over now. Okay, so this is the primer on my skin. I don't really know if it's done much, to be honest. I think it's just further hydrated the skin. It's also dried down though, which I really like. It's not sort of left that, you know, wet looking tacky texture to the skin. It has really nicely dried down. The only thing I'm concerned about is that I have got to go out with this makeup on, and I've got nothing pore filling, so I might actually have to put some pore filling primer on. I'll use this one because I've only used it once for a TikTok, and it's Made by Mitchell as well, and I've not used this on YouTube. So this one has like a really like gel texture to it. I'm just literally gonna dot some in my T-zone because yeah, I need that blurring. It has that sort of silicone effect, but a gel like texture, and it does dry down and mattify as well as like blur, which is good. I'm not going to spot conceal because I want to see how good coverage this foundation is. So I was deciding between this one and the House Labs. I think I'm going to save the House Labs for like a TikTok or something, or if you want me to do a video on that, let me know. But I've had this one for ages. This is the Morphe Lightform Extended Hydration Foundation. Oh, my makeup is definitely not going to last long in this foundation. Hey ho. This is what the packaging looks like. It's also a very, very pale. I think it's the lightest shade. Yeah, 01N. So it says, bring your best skin to light. This weightless, long-wearing formula floats on to diffuse imperfections instantly with undetectable, buildable, medium coverage, while a Hydro Relief Complex works to improve and maintain skin's moisture, balance, and barrier function over time. Clinically proven to hydrate up to 16 hours, Lightform leaves your skin with a lasting natural radiance that glows from within. So yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical. Got a cute little pump on it, just because I'm not a hydration foundation girly. I very much like my matte foundations, but we are going to give it a go. Oh, it's very liquidy. Oh, I don't know about this, guys. Also, extremely pale. Okay, this is the foundation on. Obviously, ignore the shade match. This is obviously super pale for me at the moment. But what I will say about this foundation is that it literally feels like I have nothing on my face. I was a little bit worried when I first put this on, but it has quite surprised me because it's not like super wet, dewy looking like I thought it was going to be. Like as soon as I saw hydration, like with some hydrating foundations, sometimes they have like a really wet looking finish to it. But this just gives the skin a really nice glow. But for me, with someone with oily skin, this is actually a nice amount of glow. It's not too wet looking and dewy. Like my face doesn't look super wet, like bouncing off the light. Do you know what I mean? And the coverage is really nice as well. I'd definitely say it's medium coverage. You can definitely still see some of my blemishes, but I'd say that's got really nice coverage and it just looks really nice and smoothing on the skin. I honestly did not expect to like this, but it has surprised me. Okay, next for concealer, I have the Be Perfect one. This is the Full Impact Complete Coverage Concealer. Now, this is in the shade L2. No, it's not that bad actually. It's quite similar. So this is their newer concealer. They brought one out a little while ago, and I didn't even bother trying it. I watched so many reviews on it and people just didn't like it, so I just thought, you know what, I might as well just sell it brand new. But I was excited to get this one because this one sounds a little bit more up my street. The only thing I don't like about it is that the wand and the doe foot like feel very like cheap, very like Poundland makeup vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just a thin bit of plastic. Do you get the vibe? It just doesn't feel nice, if that makes sense. So let's give this a go. Okay, colour is not the best. I'll tell you what, this is a really thin concealer though. And this wand also doesn't pick up like a ton of product. So you do have to go back in. Yeah, the formula's really interesting on that actually. Doesn't feel like a full coverage concealer, not the ones we know and love. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a thick texture, but this might be a different type of thick concealer. Okay, so this is the foundation and concealer on together, and do you know what? They've actually worked really nicely together. They both have that really thin texture, but they have good coverage. So when they worked together, they like sort of melt into the skin and give me really nice coverage. I'm quite surprised actually. I didn't think we'd get that level of coverage with such a thin concealer, but this whole thin formula, good coverage must be on trend at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Because my skin looks really good. Like there's a couple of blemishes you can still see, but that one's like really red. But the rest is very well covered. And again, my skin doesn't look super wet looking. It just has a nice glow to it. So when we set the face, that should disappear. Really impressed so far. Okay, next we have these by 17. These are really affordable. I'm pretty sure I got both of these for like £5 maybe, and they might be a few quid each. I can't remember, to be honest. It was a little while ago. We have these bronze drops, which I'm going to use as like a liquid bronzer, and then we also have the blush drops. I've seen really good things about these actually. I can't wait to try it. I've seen Lizzie try these, and I think Soph has tried these as well. I think I might just pop some on my brush. I don't know if I want to apply it directly to the skin. And I think these have a glow to it. Oh, okay. Oh, they have a nice smell to them. They smell like very tropical. Okay, so this has a very thin texture to it. I mean, they are drops, I guess, so that is most likely why. I know obviously 17 is probably catered towards like the younger audience, but they do have some good gems. And I'd say these definitely like catered towards people who don't want a product that's like super full coverage. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Yeah, they seem like they're definitely for someone who just want like a little wash of like a bronziness to the skin rather than someone who really wants to look bronzy. Do you know what I mean? Like it just creates like a really nice shadow instead of like looking at me and thinking, oh, she's really nice and bronzy. Do you know what I mean? I tell you what, again, it's got a really nice thin texture to it. I genuinely don't feel like I've got a lot on my skin at the moment, even though I've got like 5 layers of products. It's actually crazy. And then I assume the blush drops have got a similar vibe. This is the shade Candy Pink. I'm just gonna pop a tiny dot on my brush because again, I don't know what the pigment is like. Oh no, do you know what? These hold a little bit more pigment than the bronze drops. Yeah, so these actually do have some pigment in it. Obviously, I have diffused it quite a lot. I do need to go back over my under eyes with my sponge. But yeah, these definitely hold a lot more pigment. So if you don't like the really thin textured products and you do want a little bit of pigment, definitely try these out. But oh my god, these are so affordable. The fact that I got both of these for a £5, or it might have even been less, £3.50. I literally can't remember. It was definitely a £5 and under. That is so good. Okay, to set the face, I'm going to be using the Beauty Crop powder, but this is in the shade Peach 10. This is not new to me by any means. I have got I want to say 4 of these now. Such a good loose powder. It's not even that expensive either, I don't think. I've got quite a lot of shades of this now. I feel like they are constantly updating the shades, but this is the shade Peach. Has a really nice peachiness to it, but it's giving it's going to work for pale skin vibes. Do you know what I mean? Firstly, going to take some on my Twigwell puff under my eyes just to make sure they don't keep settling. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face. Okay, so that is the peach powder on my face. It has the slightest peachy tinge to it and it works for my skin, I think. I don't think that looks too dark for me at all. I have a little bit of dryness on my nose, but absolutely everywhere else is all fine and set. I really love that powder. I knew I loved it anyway. It wasn't really a first impressions. I just wanted to test out the shade, and luckily that shade works for my skin tone. I've actually found that it's more of the peachy toned powders that work for me rather than the pinks. Only certain pink powders work for me if they're like a really brightening pale pink. Okay, now we need to bronze up this skin, and I'm going to be taking the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. I've heard such good things about these, and I got the shade Buttercup, which I think is the lightest one. There is a little bit of shimmer in there, so we've got a bit of a reoccurring theme with the glowy skin, do you know what I mean? But it's okay. It smells absolutely beautiful, by the way. And NYX are expensive. Like, they're meant to be a drugstore brand, but they're not very drugstory to me, if that makes sense. Like, they are quite pricey. Okay, the powder itself is a little bit kickbacky, like I've got a lot of pigment flying about, but this shade is beautiful. It's actually much more pigmented and like darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it being the lightest shade, I thought it was going to be a little bit paler than this, but I actually love this shade. So this is a shade on my skin. I love it. It's actually not too warm. It's like the perfect bronzer. I feel like if I applied any more, it probably would get to the point where it is a bit too pigmented and a bit too orangey, but that is like the perfect amount applied. I'm just looking. I think there is like a little bit of a sheen to it, but honestly, it's nothing too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is not enough for me to think, actually, no, I don't think I'd want to wear that, because I am quite fussy with shimmery bronzers and stuff, but that's like barely anything. So I really love this, and it gets me excited to try the Buttermelt blushes, because if they're like these, I can tell I'm going to love the formula. Okay, for blush, I have one of these. These are by P. Louise. Quite a few bits from P. Louise in this video. Or is this, no, this is only the second. Let's calm down and stop being dramatic. These are the Cheek of It Loose blushes. Now, it's not necessarily a new product to me. I have actually already tried these over on my TikTok, but the shade was so pale and I've not tried it once since. So I feel like this will be a good like second attempt to actually find a shade that works. I was watching Jordan Lipscomb's video on these on TikTok, and she sort of discovered the same thing, that the pale shades, they are quite hard to show up. I think because of the way that you apply these, and when with them being pale, they're just not really going to show up much. But if you take a slightly darker shade, for her it did work, so fingers crossed. This is the Peach Puff shade, and basically what these are, they have the sponge tip applicator on them like what the liquids do. And let me just unscrew this because I've got to take the plastic off anyway. But inside here you have all of the loose blush. I actually get like so much product in these. That whole thing is filled up. And what you basically have to do is, I'll put the lid on just in case, but you have to give these like a bit of a shake, and you have to dab them a little bit for the pigment to start showing through the sponge, and then you can directly apply it to the skin. Okay, so now the pigment is starting to show through, we should be able to just dab this on the skin and the blush comes through. It is a little bit of like a not normal type of way to apply your blush, but this is essentially your blush tool and your blush in one, so it does save that step of needing to use a brush. I feel like that's coming through. Can you see that? The only thing with these is that I do feel like my makeup does slightly come off with these, so while I'm not like a lover of this applicator and how it applies, at least the slightly darker shades are working. Do you know what I mean? I really wanted to love these as well because I love peel-aways, but I feel like the sponge just takes off my makeup, and yeah, it's not the easiest product to use and not like the most straightforward. I understand what she was trying to do with it, but I feel like it's just not like executed it 100% the way I think it should have. But I'm glad this colour shows through onto the skin, because yeah, I was having such trouble. I think I was using Lolly Dolly, and with it being such a cool toned pale blush, I've got cool toned skin, and it was really a really fair colour. It just did not want to show through on my skin. But yeah, luckily this one, if I tilt my head, luckily this one is coming through. Okay, so for highlighter, I have one by Fenty Beauty. This is, again, actually not a first impressions either. I have tried this on TikTok, but, oh, sorry if I just jolted the mic there. My footage cut out, so I didn't technically film me applying it, so I'm going to use this one. I haven't really got any other new highlighter either, so I'm just going to try it again. So this is the Fenty highlighter in the shade Prosecco 02. I'm not a fan of this shade range. I really hope she would have been coming out with lighter shades for pale people, but these were the only ones she brought out, so kind of just, you know, had to deal with that. Highlighter itself is absolutely beautiful, and I do find if I use like a bigger, like fluffy brush like this rather than a bit more of a dense one, it does look okay on my skin, because when I start like packing on the pigment, that's when you can see the sort of bronzy undertone to it. But as I've applied it right there, you can still see the highlight glow. Not super intense like I'd want it to, but as I say, if I do make it super intense, you will start to see the shadow. So yeah, that is what the highlighter looks like. It is absolutely beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. Quite expensive. I think it's over £30 if I remember rightly. So the formula is 10-10. Absolutely beautiful highlighter. I just really wish she come out with paler shades. Okay, for spray, I'm finally going to be trying this e.l.f. one. This is the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Again, a lot of dewiness going on today. It says, get the makeup grip and dewy finish of your fave Power Grip Primer, now in an ultra fine bi-phase setting spray. Fused with 5% aloe plus hyaluronic acid, squalene. A lot of products have got that ingredient in now. And green tea seed oil. Shake to activate, then mist all over the face. Okay, so you do have to give it a good shake. Was thinking that because it did have a bit sitting at the top. Anyway, 5 minutes later, let's give this a spritz. Oh my god, that mister. It actually feels like nothing. Almost too fine. Okay, so this is my base after using all of those no products. And I must say, I am quite impressed with how my base is looking. I did not expect all of that to work together. I suppose because a lot of it is like hydrating products all coming together and melting together. It does give a really good finished result, but I am very impressed. Okay, so for my eyes today, I'm just going to be using this Melt Stack. I used it. No, I didn't use it. I showed it in my makeup haul I uploaded very recently. I bought it along with the Smoke Sessions 2 palette, which I have done a video on. So this is the neutral brown stack. They did also do a cool tone stack. This is honestly so good for travel, and each like section has like a different shadow, and it does have one shimmer in it. These are 2 more shades, and then we have a deeper one as well. I think firstly I'm going to take Almond, which is the second darkest shade. Really need to clean my brushes, and I'm just going to pop that in my crease. Next I'm going to take Tawny, which is the next light shade up from that. I'm not going to do anything like too dramatic just because I am going out afterwards, and I don't normally wear dramatic makeup out of the house, so yeah, which is a shame really because I've got all this beautiful makeup. These shades are absolutely beautiful. I don't really have a lot of neutral palettes from Melt. Then I'm just going to take Mellow, which is the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm just going to lightly dust that at the very top edges. And then next I'm going to take Cafe, or Caf. I think it is Cafe though because it's got the accent. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this on like a very small brush. I'm going to add it ever so slightly to the outer corner. As I said, I don't want this to be super dramatic, but it does make a little bit of a difference. And then the shimmer is called Glint. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just going to pop this in my inner to outer corner. That is gorgeous. It's got a little bit of like a crumbly texture, but in a good way because obviously it's very nicely pigmented. I don't really have an inner corner and brow bone highlight because my highlighter was quite dark and there's only one shimmer in that palette. So I'm actually going to take this by Natasha Denona. This is the new highlighter. This is what the packaging looks like. I have used this on oh my goodness, just dug my nail into it. Brilliant. I have used this on TikTok, but not on YouTube, so I thought I'd use it on here for you. I just realised I've not put anything on my lower lash line. It's got quite a putty texture to it. I don't know if you can tell that in the pan where I've been digging the brush in there. Just going to take whatever's left on that first brush we used. I'm just going to pop it on the lower lash line. Yeah, so not loads of pigment, but I just wanted a little like something. So these are the completed eyes, very like neutral, very everyday. Now that the look is done, I actually have these. I've had these for quite a while. These are the glitter eyeliners by Collection. This one is the shade Power Rose. I might just pop like a tiny bit on my lid. Is technically a glitter eyeliner, so not really meant for this, but I mean that's done a really good job at taking that look to the next level, so I'm really happy with that. And then I also have a icy one, and I think there was maybe 1 or 2 more shades as well. They're super affordable from the drugstore. Okay, so this is my completed eye look. I was going to test out the P. Louise mascara, but my Telegram group literally put me off in like 0.5 seconds, telling me how hard it is to take off, and I hate waterproof mascaras anyway. I'm really sensitive around my eyes. I don't use cleansing balm on my eyes, so it would just be a bitch to get off. So I'm actually going to skip that. I'm going to go put on a different mascara, then I'll be right back for the lips. Okay, so for mascara I just put on some Benefit Bad Girl Bang. There we go. This is my absolute favourite Holy Grail mascara, and then these are what the eyes are looking like. All done. Obsessed. Now we're going to move on to the lips. I've had this for absolutely ages and I've not tried it, and I'm literally so gutted about it because I really wanted this lipstick. So this is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is part of their like reds and pinks collection, and this is the shade 90s pink. So the packaging itself is like slightly pinky, and then this is the colour 90s pink. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm an absolute sucker for anything that has like 90s baby on it. I'm a late 90s baby. I was born in 1997, but still born in the 90s. So I just love anything that says that. But anyway, let's put this colour on. That colour is absolutely stunning. I know I love Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. The formulas are great. This one has more of like a creamy texture to it. I've got the like matte pillow talk. That's pretty much the only one I've got actually. I don't have many Charlotte Tilbury lip products, but this one, it definitely has a more creamy, slightly like glossy texture to it. Not like too glossy, but it's just where it's nice and creamy and hydrating. The colour is absolutely stunning. This is like a more like wearable mauvey pink. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up here. That was me doing a full face of first impressions. I think we had a fairly successful video. I don't know how long this makeup is quite going to hold up. I am going to have this makeup on for a little while. Just because I've got to run out to a few shops and do a little bit of shopping. I can't see it lasting a long time just because of how many hydrating products I've got on my skin right now, but we can see. I will let you know in the comments, or if I can put something up on the screen, I'll let you know. I'm going to wrap this video up here. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Comment down below, let me know what was your favourite product from today's video. I would absolutely love to know. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.